Hello, friends. Welcome. How's everybody doing tonight? Hopefully, you can hear us. Let us know if there's any issues. Yeah, we are here to talk about all the cool stuff that just dropped today with the new Comfy API nodes. I've got with me Machine Delusions and Midjourney Man. Say hi, guys. Introduce yourselves. They always see my face, so why don't you guys do the intro? I'll shut up.
After you, Phil.
MJ, take it.
Ah,
No, please take it.
Jinx. Hi, guys. Yeah, I'm Julian. I go by MJM or Midjourneyman, but I think you can just call me MJM. I know Pers and Phil likes to call me MJ for shorts. You've seen me around, and we have some cool stuff to show you today. It's exciting. So, Phil?
Yeah. So my name is Machine Delusions, also known as Phil. Yeah, lot of cool stuff in the space. If you've seen me use my nodes, Phil nodes. Yeah, a lot of really cool tech coming out. Honestly, too much. And to just the cherry on top is GPT-Image-1 API. So lots to go over, and a new paradigm shift of Comfy hosting API keys in general, which is really powerful.
Agree.
Yeah. So basically, the way it works is you can now sign up in ComfyUI for an account and put some credits in there, and then access third-party API nodes, starting with all the cool stuff available from OpenAI right now. So we are able to now access Dolly 2, Dolly 3, and Image 1. Having this in our workflow is really great because there's some things that O1 or the image stuff for OpenAI can do that we can't do yet with open source, and then there's also stuff that we can do in the open source world you can't do with just O1 or O3 or whatever the latest version is yet. Like animating it and some of the other workflows we'll talk about today. So check out the blog post. Here, I'll just pull that up real quick. Share screen. Normally we're more prepared and stuff just dropped like all today. All right, let's get a new window open and we're going to go to blog.comfy.org. I already signed up on my other account. Here we go. So ComfyUI now supports GPT-Image-1 via API nodes. Our head of community, Joe, made this amazing image.
It's awesome.
It's so good.
Animal
To
Crossing
announce
kind of vibe.
Stardew Valley, Animal Crossing. So OpenAI just announced GPT-Image-1 API, the same model that powers the GPT-4o image model 10 minutes ago. Now it's about 4 hours and 10 minutes ago. We're excited to share that ComfyUI now supports the latest OpenAI image generation model via our native API nodes beta, allowing you to access state-of-the-art capabilities directly inside your node graph without complicated API keys. We're here to tell you can just git pull or update Comfy right now. Just make sure if it doesn't start up or doesn't if it errors out when you start up, just run your requirements text file. I had to do that to update my front end, but other than that, these nodes are available in the master version of ComfyUI right now. So you can hop in, you can grab them, and you can start playing now. I'm going to throw it over to MJ's screen here, and he's going to walk through how to use it. But this little video here is sort of gives you the general idea. You sign in, create an account with Comfy, sign in, and then you can add credits using Stripe. And once you've got credits in your account, those credits will be applied to whatever third-party API nodes that you're using, the official Comfy ones. So credits will be used on OpenAI servers in this case. Here's MJ with how it works.
Sounds good. Actually, what I'm going to do is we can just generate some images together. So this is going to be for after. So let me show you that I basically, what I did, like Per said, is I pull the latest version of Comfy and with the latest front end, because now you will notice that you have a little icon here, and that's your user settings, and that's where you can basically authenticate with a Google account or other account, and then you can buy credit. And once you do this, let's just double click here, and I'm still using the old search here. Sorry, I'm back on this version. But anyways, if you look for OpenAI GPT-Image-1, here you go. You get this node here, and then you can just do a preview image, and you can just type in like the prompt you want. Let's just say a cat in the style of
I love how a
Ghibli.
cat's always the default.
Yeah, yeah.
Gotta
I'm,
do a cat to start.
I'm literally staring at
it's,
mine. The first thing I made was a cat.
yeah. So now it's I'm queuing, and what it's doing, it's basically using the API to talk to GPT, and it's generating an image right now. And here we go. Here's our-
Beautiful.
Fast.
yeah.
Yeah, that's another nice added feature of this stuff. It's actually really fast because it's just using the API backend on OpenAI instead of your local machine.
Yep.
But then you can pair it with all the cool stuff on your local machine.
Exactly. That's what we're going to do together now. So as you can think is, where could you plug that in? And the way I thought about it is, anytime I have for example, this workflow that I like, which is a Flux Redux workflow where it's mashing together from Black Forest Lab like 4 images, like this one, this one, this one, and that one, and to get this craziness, which is super fun. I was like, anytime you have a load image, you can replace the load image with this new node now. So that's what we can do together here. So let's just do it. Just GPT and shift. Remember the trick, shift, when you can move a node from the output to the input.
Mhm.
And I'm going to just copy paste this 4 times just to make our life easier. And I already have prompts that I tested before that I am going to reuse. So we don't need this, we don't need that. Okay, so here I'm going to just go, for example, beautiful clouds, a forest in the style of Ghibli. Then something about like a jellyfish that's going to be neon lit. And the Japanese wave. And why not an epic landscape in the style of Bekinski. So, like you see, the trick and the cool thing is to just replace your load image by an image generation from GPT-1.
Yeah.
So then I can queue.
And MJ, we also have the N parameter at the bottom there. Basically, that's a fancy way of saying like batch size.
Yep. How many? Yep.
And so, because it's GPT-4 essentially running as the text model, you could, in theory, ask it for 4 separate things in a single node and split up that batch.
Yeah, nice. So many options available. I know that that yesterday too, because also we have here. Let me show you. We have DALL-E 2, DALL-E 3, and also GPT Image-1. So just to keep in mind. All right. So these images are generated. Almost.
Yeah, DALL-E 3 and DALL-E 2 still make actually really good images too. So, explore them. Yeah, you should explore them all because, they all have different artistic approaches to making things. So, if you find one, you do something you don't like, you can try one of the other models too.
Yeah. And as you can see, I forgot to change the resolution of these images. So 2 were made like a horizontal, 2 vertical, because there is the auto parameter for the size. But you can change the resolution here, by the way. You have 3 available: square, horizontal, or vertical.
Yeah.
But Redux should be able to mash this stuff together anyways.
So yeah, basically what we're doing here is instead of loading 4 images, we're just loading 4 prompts, and the prompts are generating images through the API node with OpenAI. And then we're using Flux Redux, which is a special version of Flux that kind of mixes things together, or is like really good at understanding contextual layers between images. So when you redux 4 images together, you get something like this, which is super duper interesting.
Yeah, let's just wait for the Phil's node. Interesting. I wonder how they got here.
What is going on there, MJ? What is that squiggly in the middle?
Which one? Oh,
The-
this?
that- yeah, that
Yeah,
thing.
yes, from the squid. It's from the squid.
Oh, from the
Okay,
jellyfish
this
thing.
makes
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, the jellyfish. Yeah, yeah. It's interesting how it's trying to. Here, that's the end result. So it's pretty cool. Still, it's very
That's
unique.
really cool.
But
Yeah,
it's
so
go
Carlos
ahead.
was asking about the pricing per image. It's actually quite reasonable depending on the setting that you set the quality to, basically when pinging the API. I think on the top end, what we're looking at like 80 cents, 70 to 80 cents an image, and on the lower end, like 10 to 20, I believe.
And that's for O1. The Dolly ones 2 and 3 are significantly cheaper too.
Super, yeah.
But I think I don't know if the pricing has been if the pricing table has been released. So that's
It
just what
actually
we're
hasn't.
guessing. Yeah, that's we're kind of what we're just guessing. So it might be wildly different by the time you go to use it. So yeah, it's hard to say right now.
But yeah, the main takeaway from this workflow is whenever you have a load image, you can think about like replacing that load image with this, and then just generate the image that you may usually generate on the outside, and you can generate everything directly within Comfy, which is a huge convenience. It's just more streamlined, makes this workflow a workflow instead of being multiple workflows that you have to juggle through together. So
Well, generating 4 images with Flux and then reduxing them takes what 4 times, 5 times as long as
that's
this
true. That's a good point.
as this workflow took, because generating an image with an API is like generally lightning fast compared to trying to do it locally. But yeah, it has benefits and drawbacks. Benefits being speed and quality, and drawbacks being it's not local, so you don't have full control. But
Mhm.
again, these nodes and these things, this kind of stuff is what we're trying to use to bridge the gap between having local GPU and not having local GPU. So it's almost getting to the point where you can replicate almost all of the local stuff with cloud stuff, and then as the APIs come in, there'll be more and more integration. So that old you need a GPU to run Comfy thing might be a thing of the past if we can offset a lot of this stuff onto the cloud, because as you know, a lot of people like to create on the go. They don't always have to be strapped to a giant gaming PC. So it's pretty exciting to have options here, and then have it all integrated with all the local tools that we have. So you can literally just use it whenever you need it, and if you don't need it, you don't have to use it. So yeah, I think this is
It's a good
super
option.
fun.
Yep, good option to have. So
Yeah, absolutely.
that was just one idea that I had, like to show. And Pers, are you ready to show like the other cool stuff?
Yeah, I just want to say 3D tutorials in HD asked for local LLM support. There is a ton of local LLM support for
Alright.
ComfyUI already in the community nodes.
I'll show
You
you.
can run the models with Ulama and then connect to them locally. And there's also prompt massagers and all kinds of stuff that just load directly in to memory inline and stuff. So yes, definitely explore that for image and prompt enhancement. If you have the GPU and you want to do it locally, there's tons of ways to do it, and we'll be showing you all kinds of stuff to integrate into your workflows as these streams go on, because Phil uses it a lot, I use it a lot, MJ uses it a lot. This is just like, if you have the GPU, use it locally. If you don't have the GPU or you want to do it faster, use the tokens. So it's nice.
Another cool little advantage here that I just didn't think about is if you want to use Comfy to just do like a more lighter, like concatenate of images and everything, you can just use this on a Mac too now, where you can generate images on a Mac and just mash them together, present your image with a simpler workflow without like having the the GPU behind it. So that's another little advantage for this.
Yeah. All right, let me slide over here. So, Michael. Apologies for mispronouncing your name, which I'm sure I did. Mixed with Juan 2.1. Actually, yes. This is what I did last night. Basically, we connect the OpenAI GPT image node, prompt it, generates an image. That image runs through Juan and makes an animation. So yeah, I mean, we can just slap this stuff into any workflow. Anytime you're, like MJ said, anytime you're loading an image, anytime you're grabbing an image for context, anytime you need to look at an image and get like IP adapter stuff, you can just make the image or make a bunch of images and load them in later. You could even make batch workflows and like prompt jumpers and stuff like that. Phil can probably talk to that about that more, about generating like buckets of images that you could then later use for stuff, and like generating training data sets and like all kinds of fun stuff. So yeah, I mean, I can run this, but it'll take about 8 or 9 minutes to run it. So basically, just to explain how this works, you use OpenAI GPT here to create the image, then it goes and animates that image through the 114B image to video model here with Kajai's workflow. I believe this is maybe in the blog post, this workflow, or if not, come on over to the Comfy Discord and I'll drop the workflow if you want to try it out. But it's basically just Kajai's example workflow for image to video with the GPT stuff plugged into the image loader. So you can just as easily do that. Just grab this OpenAI node, get set up, plug it in, and go. So yeah. Do you want to talk about your stuff, Phil? I can jump over there.
Yeah, I'm kind of like in the middle of cooking something. I mean,
okay, cool. I'm gonna run one then. Let's run one of these, and we'll see what it does. So I'm gonna do like 33 frames because it'll be a lot faster. So, all right, chat, hit me, prompt me. What are we doing?
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
I think. Want to see?
Wait. Is this WAN prompt or is this image prompt?
This is the OpenAI image prompt that will be turned into a WAN animation.
Okay. Well, I think the power of GPT is the fact that it's almost like IP adapter in a sense, right? That's one of the biggest advantages of this is basically prompting with images. So I would go find a picture that you like, Pers, in your plethora of already existing art and throw it in and try to make a new concept or subject with it.
Let's see what horrible monstrosities I've made lately.
Accurate.
I mean, I got penguins on the beach. I got Teletubbies chasing people down an alley.
Oh my god! Of course you do.
Yeah, I have people running away from tractors. There's a gorilla fight, I think. Yeah, I might not be the best source of images for this. I'm going to use the whoops. There we go. Load image. So let's load image. That's at a load image node. And I'm going to drag the penguins in there. And we're going to generate, what should we do with these penguins? Can you make these penguins adorable? Wearing little tuxedos in a Ghibli style. We gotta ride the hype train. I guess I'll leave it at low. The higher you go with the quality, the more it costs. So start with low, and then if you you need higher quality stuff, you can turn that up. But honestly, like upscaling stuff later is kind of like probably more fun. Up to you. All right, and then I'm gonna actually say adorable penguins wearing little tuxedos as the video prompt as well.
swaying side to side or something.
And yeah, and dancing. And then we'll do like shaky handheld camera movement. Yeah, sure, why not? We have a Tcache threshold of about 2.5 or 2.25. As this runs, I'll just actually, whoops, gotta plug this into the resize image as well. I wonder if I stopped that soon enough. Or too soon. Okay. Said, oh, required input was missing. But that's because I didn't have it plugged in. There we go. There's a little tuxedo penguins. Oh, this is the error that you ran.
Oh yeah. That's what I mentioned.
So we, MJ noticed the images that GPT makes, this model, they have an alpha layer. So they have a red, green, blue, and alpha layer. So we need to strip the alpha layer out. What is it?
If you type,
what's the term?
If you just type alpha, you should be able to just
remove alpha.
Yeah.
That's a comfy. Yeah, so you may need the ComfyUI Essentials node pack. Let's try that. So basically, we're going to plug this in after the ChatGPT OpenAI image node. Plug the remove alpha, and then you can plug that into the places where it's supposed to go, like in this case, resize thing. This should remove the alpha channel.
Yeah, I use one from Alor.
Yeah, you know what? They don't even look Ghibli. So let's go an adorable illustrative style, vector art style. Let's try that. Okay, so now we're removing the alpha this time.
Yeah, it should work.
That's cute. Go. Okay, so we talked about this last night. If you want to learn more, please watch last night's stream. We went in deeper on this stuff. But one is a local open source video model. Well, it also runs on the cloud, but it runs locally. And it's basically as or more powerful than a lot of the closed source options available to us, especially when it comes to control and different forms of doing cool stuff. Just ask Phil. Just ask Kytra. There's some amazing controllability out there right now.
Silly.
Training, fine tuning, all that magical stuff. So, but in this case, we're just using image to video. It says it's going to take 11 minutes, but we're also doing 0.25 threshold of Tcache. Would you like to explain what Tcache is, Phil?
Yeah, absolutely. So Tcache is like my favorite tea is black tea. No, I'm kidding. Tcache is basically a
that's cache tea.
It's basically an algorithm that tries to sorry, my phone's going off here. Trying to calculate what steps during the diffusion process are skippable. Right. And so similar to like LCM, where it's kind of like they took that idea of like taking something that would take 50 steps to diffuse, right? And they trained a model, or a LoRa in this case, to essentially get to the end result quicker, right? So it's training on the concept of converging quicker. And so Tcache is a similar idea, except instead of it being something that you have to train like a LCM LoRa or like a hyper LoRa, it's an algorithm that essentially tries to front run and calculate what the noise will be at that step. And there's thresholds, of course, as you can see here on the screen. And if that threshold is met, it actually just skips that diffusion step completely. And so basically going through these settings here, we have the threshold, which is kind of like, I like to think of it like a similarity slider, right? Like if the noise is 25% of like, if the threshold of difference is smaller than 25%, it's like, well, if we don't need to diffuse this, let's just skip it, right? And then, start frame, end frame. But when you run it with Tcache on, it's the weirdest and most satisfying thing ever, because it'll start normally, step 1, diffusing, step 2, step 3, and then you'll hit a step and it'll just like jump 4. And you're like, whoa, and it will jump periodically at random intervals as it, makes these calculations. But it truly does, at some, like in some examples, like 2x your render times, especially on video models.
Yeah, you may notice as we get closer to the end here, it just happened. Bump, bump, bump. It just jumped like 3 steps.
Yep.
That's like 2 minutes we just saved. Like of render time.
Exactly.
Just enough time to make tea,
Like these little optimizations, like stacked one on top of the other, really start to work out. So there's Tcache, there's block swapping, but that's more for if you have lower VRAM. You can play with the level of this to swap more memory back and forth between your system. So it takes longer, but you can do more with less VRAM. So this is a good option for people who have low VRAM. And then there's also Torch Compile, which if you have a 4090 works everywhere. If you have a 3090, it works on FP16 and full precision models, but doesn't work with FP8, unfortunately, only on the 3090. But yeah, if you have a 4090, etc., a 40 series card, 50 series card, I don't know about 50 actually, but Torch Compile, what's that, about 20-30% speed increase by like caching the model stuff first, compiling some of the stuff it needs first, and it doesn't have to do those calculations when it runs. So yeah, it speeds up quite a bit if you're set for it. And then I think those are all the sort of there's enhance a video. I'm not really sure what that does. I just leave these settings to whatever Kajai had. That's generally my rule of thumb for most of these things is, Kajai's been through it. So here we go. This animation just finished. Let's see what it made. Oh, I forgot to change the aspect ratio.
I still did the
That's
job,
really
though.
cute, though. Yeah, really cute. So yeah, we just one shot the image right into Juan. So you could just keep running this over and over and over and over and over. And Bob's your uncle.
Oh, Bob.
Oh, Bob.
You silly sausage.
And that is Juan. And that is yeah. And yeah, if you need this workflow, we'll dump it on the Discord later, and you can grab it. Right on. Do you want to jump on, Phil? You can slide over. Or do you need some more time?
No, we can slide over. I'm interested. I don't know if the N value has anyone had success running a batch of API calls?
Not yet.
I haven't tried yet.
Just running these. But basically, yeah, let me share my screen here.
Mm-hmm.
Too many things. Okie dokie. Let me kill some stuff here. So my first thought when doing this was like, I want to use this thing as like a synthetic data generator. Okay, let's see. Remove the double spaces, please, GPT. So I wanted to make like a data set generator. And so the way I kind of approached this in my head, I think we actually just found a bug. The N value or the batch is not working right now on the GPT node. But the way I kind of approached this was give a list to my Madlib generator, and so I'm basically just saying like take this image style and create 4 styles, 4 images in a similar style. Here are the 4 subjects, and then I have the same list being fed into the delimiters basically, and they randomly populate. And the way I've coded my node is like every delimiter has its own running seed, so it'll always be random, for every word list, and then that gets fed into like just a prepended prompt. And so the end of the prompt basically is structured like this, right? You are a master art maker, creates interesting artwork utilizing composition, color, interesting subjects, blah blah blah. And then again, take these 4 subjects and make 4 images, and then Bob is your uncle. And so in this example, the idea would be that I set the batch to 4, the prompt goes into the GPT node, and then all I have to do from here is essentially pick like a style. So like going through and being like, oh, that's, what would happen if I ran an image like this, and the 4 subjects were Tetris, Ruined Temple, Melancholy Fruit Vendor, et cetera, et cetera. And then further on down the chain, now that I would have this set up, I'd have multiple GPT nodes, and just let the thing cook and get maybe like 100 to 200 images in that dictated style. And then down the line, I would use something on the lines of config, there's a Flux trainer. Yeah, I would do something like this, where I would, this is a training workflow for Flux inside of Comfy, and basically just train it in. Take this data set config and just get rid of it, and then make this literally the images being fed in, or like to the absolute directory here. But yeah, that's like that's actually pretty sick.
Wow.
Yeah, I like that.
It's really nice.
The Tetris Temple.
Yeah, the Tetris Temple. That's I'm saving that one. That's really
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, so like this is the kind of like the first thing that comes to my mind is like, okay, low hanging fruit. Let's make data with it, and from a simple 1 image reference, kind of acting like IP adapter, it allows me to expand upon, yet like choke it down with like the style, and then also push it around with these weird prompts. And then another idea that I had was GPT is like extremely good at basically writing, right? Like we all know it's basically like the meme god, but it's also really good at diagrams too. And so let's say I took this word list and I just fed it in. Actually, let's take another one of these, put this here, and then be like, take this word list, generate me a top 20 used words in this list as a graph. Put that into my prompt, set this to that, run it. And so there's like a lot of like utility that I think that people aren't really thinking about when it comes to this model specifically, right? Like in the past, a lot of the models we've played with have been, that's ridiculous. The fact that
It's just nonsense at the bottom, but yeah.
Absolute nonsense. But I think it's because I have to bump the quality. I think the quality is just not doable.
Frequency. Frequency.
Jolly.
Tangy. Craig's Day. Oh yeah, all the hits.
I mean, it got the top 20 words, so
It almost did frequency. It very much almost did it.
Looks legit to me. Can be used in a meeting.
Yeah. You flash that fast enough, nobody would even know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
oh,
they're
it
like,
was
"Oh,
great.
number goes up. Send it."
Yeah.
No, see, this is what I'm talking about, right? Like I bumped the quality up, and
Yeah.
yes,
Cyberpunt.
floating is kind of weird. Cyberpunk. Okay, new style word unlocked.
Yeah, it's like cyber soccer
Oh my god.
or
But
football.
the thing is, like, you know, if I systematically went through and, you know, I bet jellyfish probably appears itself 20 times, and I don't even know, you know, like, but GPT is smart enough and can generate images coherently enough to figure that out.
Mhm.
Like, I didn't see jellyfish once in here, to be honest.
You know, that's a lot of data too. Like,
Yeah, it's
that's
yeah.
an awful lot of data for an
Yeah.
image generator.
Like, let's see. This is 265 tokens. I mean, yeah, you're blowing past SDXL prompts at 77.
Yeah.
Flux clip can handle 512, so that's half of a Flux full untruncated prompt.
Mm-hmm.
Half a
Like,
flux.
it's a lot. I mean, it's a lot of information for sure. Yeah, and so like these are the kind of things that I think of when I'm like, okay, well, how would I want to use
Yeah.
this? The other thing too that I was thinking about is we like to use like colored masks, you know, like the red, green, blue trick we always do.
Hmm.
And you know, I was thinking like, let's make a bunch of stacked TVs where the colors of the screen are solid colors, either red, blue, or green.
Matthias wants to know, can you send multiple images to the API, aka a person and a background,
Yes.
to keep consistency?
Yes,
So
I believe
can
so.
it accept a batch? I'm not sure on that. I don't have an official answer for you, but I'll
It
ask.
should. It should. Let's see.
Yeah, we can try it right now. Well, we can try it after this experiment, but yeah, we'll try that out and we'll find out together.
Let's put this here, and we'll put this
Find
one
out together.
here.
I mean, you can always, the other thing you could always do is, if it doesn't take multiple images, is you could actually concatenate those images side by side and feed it in as one
Correct.
image, and it would
Yeah.
totally understand what you're trying to do. So, you know, if you were saying like, put this dress on this person, and you just stuck those two images together and then sent it in as one image, which is totally possible with Comfy Nose. Oh, that looks cool.
Right, and so like the idea here now is then we can take this. I gotta like turn off all of these. They're gonna fire. Yeah, and so the idea here now is I can take this and then be like color to mask, and then boom, Control C. Oh my gosh.
I love Phil how you're already thinking about outside the box and making crazy stuff on the
Yeah,
fly.
I mean, I'm just like trying to think like, okay, like this is a model that's like unprecedentedly good at prompt coherence, writing, and like furthermore. So I'm just like, what can this, you know?
Do yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Let's do batch multi. Where is it? Image batch multi. Set this to 3. Boom. Okay, so now we have to dial it. So red, green, blue, higher threshold, lower threshold. What am I doing wrong here?
Try like 15 on each of the thresholds to start.
Yeah, I guess so.
See if any of them pick up.
Maybe the
Ooh.
threshold just needs to be higher. Yeah, there
Yeah.
it is. Okay, so 100.
YOLO. So
Oh,
close.
really? Wow, dude.
See how high does it go?
255. I guess like that's too
Ooh,
much.
not quite.
There we go.
Here we go.
Nice, dialed
So
in.
now I've got my 4 masks.
Beautiful.
Actually, that'd be a cool GIF.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. See, this is the kind of crap. This is the kind of crap that we're like, oh man, what
Here
if?
we go. Here he is.
Okay, and then what if we took this, and then we did like a blend, and then no, we want like a blending mode. Blending mode. Image A, image B. I want this at a lower FPS. Turn this into there. What's that look like? One of them's got alpha. Oh yeah. Aha.
Yeah, same. Yep, there you go.
Oh geez. Maybe this one. Maybe that, yeah, okay. WAS nodes, dude, what are you doing to me?
Image bled.
Image bled.
That's so metal.
Bounded image blending mode. Man, this bothers me.
I think it's a blend. I think it's blend image.
I don't have like
All one word.
blend image.
No, image blend, all one word. Is it that one? Yeah, I think it's that one.
Yeah, that's the one.
There's like 500 image blend nodes, so I feel your pain.
I'm about to make my own, honestly.
I'm gonna add to the pile.
Hey,
Yeah, there we go. Now they're multiplying in, so you get the.
hey, look at that.
It's lighting up
There it is.
the pixel frames. So now you know
Okay.
you could imagine. Now you can put 3 different images on those TVs, or you can.
And then you can diff something
You know,
to.
you can do anything, and there you go. There's the mask pumping right through.
Yeah.
And just like that, Phil just made up a little use case scenario for this on the fly.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's interesting too. Yeah, I mean, like the world's your oyster here. But it all basically started off of me just like getting this asset. Like, yeah, I could wrestle with Flux for maybe like 10 minutes, or I could just get it in like 1 second with GPT, like first try, like no prompts adjusting at all. And so it's like these things. And then the other thing to think of is this, right? Now that we have this set up, we turn this back on and we get rid of this, and this becomes this, right? And so now we should have a system that does this every time, or at least, you know, accurately as these masks can scan it.
It'll try anyway.
Depending on the color, yeah.
But nothing, you know, nothing's stopping you from doing this kind of stuff manually with OpenAI. It's just this lets us kind of integrate it into Comfy in different interesting ways. So, yeah, we're basically inventing new workflows with these abilities. So yeah, it's super duper exciting. And this is just the first example of what's possible that Phil cooked up in 2 seconds.
Like, yeah,
just
on the fly.
thinking about the possibilities of this node. So we would love to see what you guys come up with. So please, you know, post your workflows, post your videos, tag ComfyUI on X and all that stuff. When you post your examples, we'd love to see it. We'd love to know how you're using API nodes to like make your workflows easier to deal with, or you know, maybe you're unlocking brand new things you can do that weren't possible before.
Yeah, and I think the sharing part is nice. So check it out. So now we've got like a systematic.
Oh, that's
thing,
great. Yeah.
And so now it'll just do the thing, right? And this
Okay,
is
make
really
an NFT
simple.
collection.
Yeah, I mean, hey, speaking of
Batch 96 run.
batch 11111 go. Yeah, like let's add like a glitch to it. Let's do color offset. Let's with the random, and then we'll glitch the masks. Ooh, I like that. Let's glitch the masks. So this into there, this into there. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what this does. But yeah, I mean, the idea is like you can go as far down the rabbit hole as you possibly want. But you know, I'm basically in this example relying on GPT to just consistently give me that thing every time, where a lot of models just couldn't, or you know, they weren't as thorough and predictable. But because GPT is like a language model, if it's not doing what you want it to do, you can give it image examples, you can give it multiple images in, you can prompt engineer it to absolute hell. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Oh, that's just because it's turning it blue and yellow.
Yeah.
If you're
Yeah, because I've got the color offset turned on. But I mean, again,
it's cool.
creating art, like, yeah, that's sick.
Right on.
Yeah, I mean, those are the few examples that I was kind of cooking in my brain.
Beautiful. Well, yeah, you know, that's that's all we're really here to talk about, is just how these tools can integrate into your workflows better, and you can come up with new ways to play with your stuff. So you know, go forth, download the stuff, sign up and play with the tools, and join the Discord, join the stream. So we'll be doing this twice a week, Fridays and Tuesdays. And then, you know, when things like this come up, we'll just jump on and hang out and talk about it. So thanks, Phil. Thanks, MJ. This has been
No
awesome.
worries. Good stuff.
And also, if you guys have anything you've been doing with Comfy lately you want to talk about before we split, please.
MJ, if you want to start that, I think I might have something. You got anything cooking, MJ?
No, go for it. Go first.
Let me just look at my workflows real quick. Yeah, I got some stuff I can't talk about on stream. What else?
Philip Roberts asks, is GPT-Image-1 the only thing available in API nodes at the moment? Eventually, will native Comfy SaaS options be able to replace Collab from my cloud Comfy use? I think the plan is down the road to be able to offer all this stuff on a platform. Right now, we have the OpenAI stuff. That's all we know. We can speculate, but you know, they don't tell us stuff. We just we just talk
Safer-
about,
it's
we know
safer this
about what
way.
you know. So
Safer this way.
my guess is yes. My guess is I don't see why we wouldn't be able to you know, provide this sort of platform to connect the dots there for people who don't want to navigate the API stuff on their own. But yeah, hopefully more and more.
The world is
Yeah,
your
I mean,
oyster.
I think wait, is the only thing available API nodes right now? Yeah. Sorry, I was just like trying to understand the question, but
yeah, right now, yes, only OpenAI, but Image One, what else? DALI 2 and DALI 3, all available.
There's a lot more coming. A ton.
And yeah,
more coming.
yeah, I can only imagine.
Yeah, I think the main idea here is you can have access to all of these very powerful closed source models that are all managed by one API key. So the one API key being your Comfy key that you buy credits for or whatever, but those credits are then able to be spent at many different providers and then all natively inside Comfy to be inline created and experimented with.
Right on.
It's exciting news for sure.
The some of the things that I've been messing around with for a while here is frame pack is pretty sick.
Yep. Frame pack is
That's
fun.
that's been really fun. It's a really good model. I think like Illa's team, like they definitely trained it on illustration. There was definitely anime in there somewhere or something, because it's a like it was a proof of concept, and it's like really good like as like a foundational like this is possible. But then also like the model is just also just really good, so it's like that's a bonus.
Yeah, it's impressive. And what I really like is it's a step away from the thing we've all been doing with batching, where like I can make a video as long as I want, as long as I'm willing to wait, which is super cool. I've seen people dropping minute-long videos. They've been doing on like 4070s and stuff. It's like
Yeah.
I did.
it's a big jump in an very interesting way.
Yeah, I got unlucky. I generated a minute-long video overnight the other day, and unfortunately for me, the seed was no bueno. So that was a little bit something I have to try again. But yeah, I learned my lesson. Very, very seed dependent, and that one was not good.
To answer Emac in the
Mhm.
channel here, it is a Comfy thing. So you buy your usage, your credits from Comfy.
To be clear, we're talking about the API thing, not
The API.
Frame Pack. Frame Pack
Correct.
also is in Comfy.
Yeah,
It's been wrapped by Kajai, I think, and a
correct.
few other
Yep.
people.
Yep.
But no native support yet, but that's usually just a matter of time.
Mhm.
But yeah, and I'll let Phil finish about the API stuff. Just wanted to clarify. We're
Yeah.
not charging for like models or anything. We're just literally facilitating API usage for you. Yeah, on our we don't like charge to use models is basically. I just want to make that clear.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean the API thing, yes. So Comfy is essentially the aggregator, and you pay Comfy however much you want. So I loaded up before the stream $50. The beautiful thing about how APIs mainly work, it's not a rule, but mainly is if I put $50 on there and I don't use it, well, next month I still have $50, and so on and so forth for basically forever until the thing is unsupported. And so why this is so valuable is, you have some spare money, you throw it on there. Maybe you're the kind of person who like never does video generation and you just want to do text in Comfy. Well, like the same API key applies, right? You get all the language models once they're like all fully supported. Maybe you're only video model person. Well, the same API key allows you to interface with 5 different models that are all in partnership with Comfy.org. So it's really a win-win for the community.
Mhm.
I know managing like 20 different, like MJ, you can contest to this. You're all over the place in the closed source community, and like the API keys, the subscriptions, they eat you alive. They really
Overwhelming.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is a solution where you can play with all the tools in
In
one
one place.
place and
Yeah.
not break the bank, basically.
And
Right
you
on.
can combine these outputs together, which is going to be cool. Like you can generate with eventually down the road, you assume that you can generate an image with a GPT and put this in Kling, for example, assuming that this comes directly in Comfy, and then run it through Phil's node to upscale, you name it. So it's streamlined, which is
Yeah.
quite excited.
Yeah,
Exciting. Sorry.
integrated right in with all the other stuff that we have access to. Awesome. Well, thanks everybody. We'll see y'all real soon. We'll be back on Friday.
Mhm.
Are you hosting on Friday, MJ? Is it one of yours?
Uh,
Or
I don't think so, but I
okay, I
should
guess
be
that's
able to
me.
join.
Well,
Yeah, I'll
we'll see
join you.
y'all on Friday. I don't know what we're doing, but it'll be fun. There'll be more and more of these. It won't always be me. Sometimes it'll be Phil. Sometimes it'll be MJ. Sometimes it'll be Milan. Um, we're all here just to build stuff with you and work through these workflows together, because this stuff can be confusing, but if we attack it as a team, we
Yeah.
can nail it. So yeah, you got questions, concerns, all that stuff. Hit the Discord, comfy.org for all the stuff. Let me throw up the QR code real quick. Beep, beep. There we go. Oh, it already was up. Okay, cool. Yeah. So hit up comfy.org. The link to the Discord's on there. All the links to all the socials. Do the like, do the smash, do the subscribe, do all the things. Twitch, YouTube, X. We're on Instagram, but we don't talk much, but we're there. And LinkedIn, all the places. Come say hi. But yeah, if you want to talk to us, come to the Discord. Also, every Friday after the stream, we hang out in the Comfy Lounge. So after the stream, we'll be like kind of moving it over there, all hanging out together. So if the stuff we didn't cover on Friday, you want to dive into, or you want to show us some cool stuff, that's a great time to do it. It's all hot mics. We're just hanging out kind of stuff. So if you don't want to be talked at and you want to talk to us, come there, hang out after the show. And
And drinks are on purse too. So
yeah,
Nice.
there'll always
Hell
be
yeah.
punch and pie, I swear.
yeah.
God, don't you punch me.
Yeah, thanks everybody. And if you're just new to this community, welcome. If you're an old head, thanks for everything you've done. Thanks for being around. Thanks for all the support. ComfyUI, Comfy itself, it's been building for I think it just hit 2 years the other day.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
What a ride.
Papers Day.
Yeah, thanks everybody. See you soon.
See ya.